Hello students, welcome back. Today I am Anuradha from DPS Haldwani Lamachor going to start another topic of the same chapter, Human Health and Disease. So in the previous session we have completed about the disease and what are the different types of diseases and how we can classify it on the basis of their infection, how they are infecting to other people. We have classified into infectious and as well as non-infectious, right? So here in this topic what we are going to study, we are going to study about the immunity. Okay, as we know that disease caused by some disease causing organism or the microorganism. We have done some examples also like bacteria, fungi, viruses. So these are what? These are the disease causing agent, and these disease causing agent we have given the name pathogen, right? So how we can protect our body from all these microorganisms? We have done some of the precautions also, how we have to keep our body fit and fine. So but what is the thing which is present in our body which is attacking with those diseases, which is attacking with those pathogens? So it is what? It is our immune system. What is it? It is our immune system. So here today we are going to discuss about this immunity. Immunity is what? That how our body is defending ourselves. So if we will talk about the definition here, that it is the ability of an organism. It is the ability of any individual. It is an ability of your, of my ability is what? It is ability to resist or defend itself. Okay, the body itself can fight with those disease causing microorganisms, right? Here, so what is the immunity? Immunity is that ability which is helping our body to resist or to defend it from the disease causing organisms, or we can say it defend itself from the development of disease. So the development of disease caused by what? It is caused by the pathogen. Okay, these are the disease causing microorganism or the disease causing agent. So it will fight with those one, right? Now on the basis of different function, on the basis of different types, we have divided this immunity into two types. Okay, we have divided into two types. What are they? Innate immunity and another one is acquired immunity. Okay, so the name itself innate. Okay, it means that it is present since birth. Okay, so the immunity or the power which is present in your body from the birth itself, it is known as the innate immunity. And so what is the acquired immunity? The immunity or the ability which is you are acquiring after the birth or throughout the life you are acquiring. Okay, so it is also known as the thing which is we are acquiring or we are taking from our life, right? So one by one we will discuss more on these innate immunity as well as the acquired immunity, right? So this immunity, whether it is innate or acquired, so if we'll talk about the innate immunity, what it is providing? It is providing the barrier or the shield. Okay, it is providing the barrier so that pathogen cannot attack the organism. For example, if I say this is any person, okay, if it comes in contact with any of the bacteria, okay, this is just like I'm giving example, it is coming in contact with bacteria, what happens? That this bacteria will try to cause different type of disease. If it is a bacteria, it will try to cause bacterial disease. If it is a virus, it will try to give the viral diseases, like so on, right? So what our body is doing, our body is providing a barrier or the shield so that this pathogen cannot attack the individual, right? So what it is providing? It is providing the barrier, right? So how many types of barrier it can be? Barrier can be of 4 different types. Okay, So the barriers can be 4 different types. We can say that the first one is a physical barrier. Okay, the barrier which is providing by the physical appearance or some physically thing which is defending itself from the microorganisms. It can be physiological also, some of the chemicals or some of the metabolic activities which is taking place inside the body. So it will helpful for helping our body or to defend our body with that particular pathogen, right here. Then it can be cellular. Cellular means that the cells which is present in our body, they may act as a barrier for the pathogen. Or it can be the cytokine. Cytokine means something related which is having in us body, and it is secreting some of the thing, and this particular will fight with the pathogen, right here. So one by one, now we will discuss about these types of barrier also. So let's come with the first one, that is the innate immunity. As I have said, innate means which is present from the birth itself, right? So the first point is that it is present in any individual from the birth. They are not acquiring from any of the environment. As the, we can say, as the baby is present or the fetus is present inside the mother's womb, so from there it is getting those immunity, right? So if it is a immunity which is present from the birth, so what it can be? It can be inherited. Okay, so inheritance can be take place. So the immunity can be inherited from the parents to their offsprings, right here. So we can say that it is from the birth and inherited from the parents. Now one term is there, non-specific. Now what is the meaning of this term, non-specific? See student, as we are saying that 2 types of immunity are there, innate immunity and acquired immunity. So the difference between these two is what? First one we have discussed, that it is from the birth and they are adapting from the environment, and second point is that it is non-specific. Okay, it is a non-specific, as well as the acquired one is the specific. So we will understand that how it is non-specific and how it is specific. Non-specific means that they are not able to detect a particular species. What is the meaning of this thing? That the immunity or the ability of any individual having the immune for a particular specific disease. For example, if we will talk about this innate which is present from the birth itself, okay, which is we are getting from our parents. So this cannot be for a particular disease. For example, if we will talk about the acquired one, okay, this immunity is particular. If any bacterial disease causing pathogen, so it will specific for that particular disease. So any of the disease which is particular, it comes under the acquired one. But this innate immunity will defend the body from all types of diseases, okay, or from all general type of pathogens. We cannot say disease, general types of pathogen. Whatever the pathogen is going to come with the individual, okay, whatever the pathogen will come towards the individual, it will defend the individual from that particular microorganism. But in case of acquired one, it is not happening like this, okay, because they are very specific. They can recognize that what is this particular pathogen and how we have to defend with that particular microorganism, right here. So that's why we are saying it is a non-specific. It means that it is not having ability to recognize, or it is not specific for any particular pathogen, right? So that's why it is following what type of defense mechanism? General defense mechanism. It means that it is fighting with all types of pathogen, and this type of defending, it is known as a general defense mechanism, right? So these are the some characteristics of the innate immunity. Now, as we are saying, it is providing the barrier. So what can be the different types of barriers, right? So the first barrier which is providing, that is the physical barrier. It means that For example, if I am standing here and if I will surround myself with any of the thing, so that any the other person cannot attack me. Okay, so what I am doing, I am covering myself, or I am defending myself by using what type of barrier? Physical barrier, right here. So physical barrier is doing what? It is preventing the entry of any of the microorganism in the body. If any of the microorganism comes in contact with me, or it comes in contact with any individual, so it will check the entry of that particular pathogen, right here. So the examples which we have to memorize, which we have to learn here, that is this some of the example, like skin. Okay, our skin is what? It is, we are getting the skin from birth. Okay, from birth itself we are getting our skin, and this skin is doing what? It is defending the microorganism which is present in the surroundings, and it is not letting them inside our body. Okay, so if we will talk about the different fungal, different bacteria which is present all around, and we are daily going through that particular area, what we are seeing, that these bacteria are also present in our hand, but directly it is not getting inside our body, because our skin is defending it, right? Unless and until we are using our hand for eating, right? So we can say that skin is the first line of defense. Okay, what it is providing? It is the first one which is defending our body from the pathogen, right? So the first example is skin. Another one is the mucus. Okay, so mucus is what? As we have said, it is some fluid like structure. Okay, so this mucus coating of epithelium means that the mucus which is surrounding any epithelial part, okay, which is surrounding any epithelial part of some of the respiratory, gastrointestinal and urogenital tract. What is the meaning of this thing? Respiratory. What is respiratory passage? That from nose there is a trachea. Okay, so this whole passage, it is known as respiratory tract. Okay, if we will talk about any human being, okay, if you will talk about any human being, so what you are seeing, that there is a trachea. Okay, so this trachea is surrounded by some of this trachea surrounded by some of the cells, or we can say the epithelium of whole the trachea will secrete what? It will secrete the mucus. Okay, it will secrete the mucus. And as we are respiring, so as we are respiring, so we are respiring what? We are respiring oxygen inside our body. So along with this gases, what is happening? Some of the pathogen or some of the microorganism also get inside in our trachea, right? So it will, for example, this is any droplets, infected droplets from the any infected person, and you comes in the contact of that person, so this will enter inside this trachea. So if mucus will be there, what it will do? It will trap those pathogen inside this trachea only. So what it is doing? It is providing the barrier so that this of these pathogen will not enter inside our body and they will not cause any disease, right here. So this can be also the example, as well as the gastrointestinal tract. Gastrointestinal tract means that in our up to our stomach, if we'll talk about the alimentary canal. Okay, so the whole, if we are playing anywhere and from that hand we are eating, so what we are doing, those pathogen will enter inside our mouth, and with the through this gastrointestinal tract, it will reach up to our stomach. Okay, they can infect the person, but at that time what it is doing, again it is secreting some mucus which will trap those pathogen in this mucus, right? And it will help our body from that particular disease, right here. And the urogenital tract means that in which the same tract for the urination as well as for the we can say for the genital area. Okay, and they are also secreting some of the mucus which help them to be free from those of the pathogen. Right here, so they are also secreting some mucus which will trap those pathogen and uh, keeps the person free from those of the infecting pathogen. Right here, so we have done the physical barrier. Now comes to the physiological barrier. So what is it, physiological barrier? That whatever the metabolism or whatever the physiological activity takes place inside the body, and this body will providing some barrier to get inside the pathogen. Right? How? So we have written prevent the microbial growth. Okay, if by anyhow any of the microbial thing or the pathogen get inside a body, so what is that thing which is present inside our body, and they are defending ourselves. So example is the acid in the stomach. Okay, like we know that the HCl, okay, the HCl is present inside our stomach. All of you know that about this one, that in our stomach, what is there? Acid is present. So what this acid is doing here, this acid helps the individual to digest the food. We know that about it. And this HCl also help act as a barrier. How? If any of the pathogen we are intaking with our food, it will reach where? Into our stomach. If HCl will be there, if acid will be there, so that pathogen will get burnt out inside the stomach only. So HCl or the acid which is present in the stomach will also act as a physiological barrier. And the second one, the saliva in our mouth. Okay, so as we are saying that directly food is going into a stomach, but before that we are eating that food. So the saliva which is present in our mouth also act as a barrier. So we can say saliva which is present in our mouth, as well as the tears which is coming from the eyes, all they will act as a barrier. And what type of barrier it is? It is a physiological barrier. And in the saliva or the tears, what some enzymes are present? What is there? Enzymes are present. We know that. What is that? Lysozyme. Okay, lysozymes. I mean something is breaking. So it is having that nature that it can break down this pathogen. Right here. Now the another one, the cellular barrier. The name itself indicates cellular means cells are providing some barrier. So how the cells are providing barrier? We know that in our body or in our blood, what is there? Cells are present, RBCs are present, WBC are present. So among that, WBC, if we'll talk about the white blood cells, what are they? They act as a phagocytic in nature. What do you mean by phagocytic nature? That if any of the pathogen, comes in contact with this WBC, for example, if any of the pathogen comes in contact with this one, what it will do? It will engulf, okay, it will engulf that pathogen and kill that pathogen here only. Okay, and after that it will defend the body from that infection. Right? So we can say that here in the cellular barrier, the phagocytic nature is there, as well as they are destroying those microbes which is coming towards the person. Right? An example is what? WBC. We know that in WBC different we have divided the WBC into different parts. Like we know that they can be the granulocyte as well as the agranulocyte. If you will talk about the granulocyte in WBC, what are the different types? We know it that for example, we can say that monocytes as well as neutrophils. So different types of cells are present in this WBC, right? So these monocytes, this lymphocytes, neutrophils, all these are present in the WBC, which help the body from the pathogen, right? And one of them, it is a lymphocyte, which is very, very helpful. We will understand more in our upcoming session, right? So WBC, if we'll talk about the example, And the monocyte is what? It is one of the part of the WBC which is present in the blood. Okay, which is present in the blood. And one more important thing is natural killer. Okay, these are also present in our blood. And we are saying lymphocytes. Okay, here we will understand lymphocytes can be two types, B lymphocytes as well as T lymphocytes, and these are present in our blood. And what are the another cells which is present in our body? These things are present where? In the blood. And if we'll talk about the tissues, okay, in our tissues or the organs, what is there? Macrophages. Okay, both are the similar term. Monocytes and macrophages, both are attacking the pathogen and they are breaking them. But difference is that these monocytes present in the blood and the macrophages are present in the tissue as well as the organs. Right here. So we have done three types of this innate immunity, right? So now we will discuss about the fourth type of barrier which comes under the innate immunity. The fourth one is the cytokinin barrier. Cyto means something related to the cell. So one of the cell is helping the another cell. It means the infected cell is helping the healthy cell so that they cannot be infected the whole body. So how it is helping? For example, if we talk about the cytokinin barrier, so these barriers helps the body or the cells of the body from the virus infecting one. Okay, those pathogen which are viruses, and how they are protecting, because if any of the cells, if any of, for example, these are the cells, okay, these are the cell, if any pathogen comes in contact of this cell, what it will do? It will release some of the protein. Okay, what they will do? They will release the protein, and the protein they are releasing, they are known as what? They are known as the interferons. Okay, this can be the MCQ question, that what is that thing or what is that proteinous compound which is secreting by the cell, okay, in this cytokinin barrier. What it is? It is the interferons. Okay, so when they will release the interferons, what it will do? It will help the other cell for the infection, because these interferons will kill the pathogen here only, so that it cannot be spread towards the healthy cell. Right here. So what is the cytokinin barrier? It is providing some barrier by releasing the or secreting the proteinaceous one, which is known as the interferons. Okay. Now we have written here that it is protecting the non-infected cell from the further infection. Same thing. Now here we have completed the first type of immunity, that is the innate immunity, which is from the birth itself. And the second immunity, it is the acquired immunity. It means that which we are acquiring from the environment, and it is also known as adaptability. Okay, why? Because we are as we are coming in this earth, so what we are doing, we are acquiring so many things. Likewise, we are acquiring some immunity also. That's why what we are saying, this is not present from the birth. So how it will be? It will develop as we are developing. Okay, during the course of time, what is happening? Our body also developing this acquired immunity, and we are acquiring through the lifetime. Okay, now another very important term, pathogen specific. It means that it is very specific for the particular pathogen, right? And here, what type of mechanism they are showing? The defense against specific pathogen. Okay, in the previous one, that was the innate immunity, we discussed about what type of mechanism. It was the general defense mechanism, but here it is a specific defense mechanism. Okay, now on the basis of this immunity, so as we are saying, as the pathogen comes towards the body, our body starts showing its immunity. Okay, so how this immunity is responding? Okay, this immunity can be response with the help of two types. What are they? Primary response and the secondary response. So what is the meaning of this primary response and what is the meaning of secondary response? See that as the first time you are encountering or your body is encountering with any of the pathogen, okay, so what type of response your body will show? Your body will show the primary response. What it will be? The primary response is what? First time any pathogen get inside the body, okay, and when it will enter first time, what it will do? The defense mechanism will be low, because see, our body doesn't know about that particular pathogen. It will take time to fight against that particular pathogen, okay. So the intensity will be low for fighting with the pathogen here. And what is the secondary response? Secondary response is that response which your body is showing that when this particular disease or the particular pathogen again comes into the body. It means that when the body encounters the another time or the further, what is happening now, your body knows that what is this particular pathogen and how we have to fight or we have to defend ourselves. So it will be the secondary response right here, and the another name is the anamnestic response, okay. You must know both of the terms here. So further encounter with the same pathogen, what it will be now, the intensity will be more to fight with that particular pathogen, okay. So nowadays we know about the coronavirus, right, or most of the viruses. First, like for example, if we talk about chicken pox, okay, some of the different pathogen we can take example also. The first time when it will happen, our body act as a primary response, and then later on it will show the secondary response right here. Now as we are saying, our body is showing some response. So how it is showing the response? Because the cells which is present in our body, right? So here we know that it can be the B lymphocyte as well as T lymphocyte. We know about it. So what is this lymphocyte? It is that one which will fight with those particular pathogen. So how they are fighting it? So here I'm just discussing about few of the points of this B lymphocyte as well as T lymphocyte. More we will discuss in our upcoming lecture. So here when we are talking about the B lymphocyte, okay, B lymphocyte means that it is present in the bone marrow, and T lymphocyte means it is present in the thymus, right? Where thymus is present? Just behind the sternum or the breastbone. So when any of the pathogen comes in contact with one, what these B lymphocyte will start? They will start making the protein. Okay, what they are doing? They will start making the protein to fight with that particular pathogen, and that protein is known as antibodies. And we know that any of the pathogen which is coming towards our body, it will be what? It will be the pathogen, and when it will fight, it will form the antibodies right here. So one point is what? Antigen. Antigen is the pathogen which is coming toward the body, and antibodies are the soldiers which they will fight with that particular antigen. Okay, so more we will discuss about the structure of antibodies, because the structure of antibodies is just like Y-shaped structure. Okay, so we will discuss more about this point. So here what we are saying, that as any of the pathogen come in contact, they will start forming the protein, and these proteins are known as antibodies right here. Likewise, so as more and more pathogen comes towards the body, they will start making more and more antibodies for that antigen. And where they are forming in the bone marrow. Where is this bone marrow? The bone marrow is present where? In the cavity of the bone. And what type of bone? The longest bone we can say, or in our thigh bone, right? So in that one we can say bone marrow is present. Okay, so this will present in this cavity which is in the bone, and these B lymphocyte, they are forming in the bone marrow as well as they are differentiating. It means that they are maturing also in the bone marrow. That's why they are getting the name B lymphocyte, because both of the things, forming as well as the maturation, and mostly we are talking about the maturation, takes place in the where? In the bone marrow itself. And from here they will start forming the antibodies, and these antibodies will fight with that antigen and they are attaching itself. Now comes to the T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes are what? Again, they are some of the defense, showing the defense mechanism. So these cells, okay, the B cells which is forming here in this B lymphocytes, okay, they will go towards the T lymphocytes. Okay, some of them will mature here, but those one which will not get mature here, they will move towards the T lymphocyte, and they help the B cells to produce more antibodies. Okay, what is the function of this T lymphocyte? They will help these B cells to form more antibodies, and they will fight more and more with the pathogen. So where they are forming, these are forming in the bone marrow, but their maturation and their differentiation takes place in the thymus gland. That's why they are known as the T lymphocytes, right here. So we can say that B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes, they are what? They are the factories, or we can say they are the places, they are the manufacturer which are manufacturing these antibodies, and after that these antibodies will fight with that pathogen. Okay, so this is the mechanism which takes place inside a body to fight with any of the disease causing organism. Okay, now when we are talking about these antibodies, okay, and previously we have discussed that immunity or the acquired immunity can be the two types. What are they? Active immunity as well as the passive immunity. So what is the meaning of active immunity and what is the meaning of passive immunity? So the active immunity is that immunity which is forming by our body itself. Okay, we are not getting from outside. What is happening? When our body is synthesizing or forming any of the antibodies from itself, that is known as what? It is known as the active one, right? And another one is the passive acquired immunity, is that which we are getting from others. Okay, our body is not preparing that one. So how can you say the example of active and passive immunity? Active immunity, which is present like these lymphocytes or these WBC, which is present in our body. So these are present in our body, so it is fighting with the pathogen. But now if we'll talk about the passive immunity, what is this thing which we are getting from others? Like the fetus, which is growing inside the mother's womb, it is taking its immunity. Okay, it also needs some immunity to defend or to protect from those pathogens. So that time the fetus is taking the immunity from the mother. Okay, so what type of immunity it will be there? Passive immunity, right here. So passive immunity and the acquired immunity. So now these antibodies can be the different types. And what are these antibodies? As I have said, we will discuss more the structure of antibodies. So here we are just saying that antibodies are the immunoglobulin molecules, okay, which contains the globulin, and these can be of 5 different types. In the earlier chapter also we have discussed about this immunoglobulin, okay, because these are important from the examination point of view. So you must know that how many types of immunoglobulin antibodies are there, and out of them this IgG and this IgA, okay, immunoglobulin A and this G is very important. How? So this is only the antibodies. Okay, this IgG is only the antibodies which is moving from the mother's womb to the fetus, right? And if you will talk about this IgA, and we have said as the delivery takes place, so mother start feeding or the breastfeeding. The first milk, or we can say the colostrum, the first yellow milk, it is known as the colostrum. It contains this IgA. Okay, against this antibodies we are taking from our mother through the breastfeeding. So this is also providing some immunity to the children, or they are also providing immunity to the babies right? So this type of antibodies, or this type of defense mechanism which is taking place here, it is known as the passive acquired immunity, and we are taking as we are coming in this world, right? Here, so today we have discussed about the innate and the acquired immunity, and later on we will discuss more of the thing about the antigen, antibody, how they are and how they are having proper mechanisms, right? So that's all for today.